Welcome, dear friends. This might be a challenging video today, but it's a video I'm going to do. My name's Bajerski. I've been a healer for 2 decades now. I've traveled the world over 30 different countries. I also created oils, healing oils, and they've been selling to over 40 countries in the world over these 2 decades. The oils that I use are specifically for certain parts of the body, both mind, body, and spirit, physically speaking, all the aspects of health and spirituality. They work hand in hand. And the reason why is because they work with me as a healing tool, which means that as all my tools, I work with daily. So I put energy into them tools as I'm working. So basically what you see behind you is 9 oils, but behind those oils and the photos, you can see the original bottles, the jars, the huge jars. These oils have been made up by countless of hours of work and they never run out. So I actually mock in certain ways, scoff, or I belittle, or I somehow make it that my work is a complete opposite of other people's essential healing methods, as in the Bible or ancient texts, so they say, and so on. I simply created my own oils and worked with him in the way that I intuitively felt. So at 38 years old, I started to create oils. I started to work with them. My first 3 oils were healing oil. That was my first oil. And then I moved on some months thereafter to create a second oil, which was a cleansing oil and then an abundance oil. And as I started working with these oils separately and frequently on my clients, I started to understand oil. I started to understand the benefits and the healing properties within them, but also the duality of energy that is placed into them as a healer. So when you put energy into oil, the oils change dramatically in ways that I can't express. It just has to be felt and seen, and you've got to experience it to understand it. This video is about not about how I make them and what's inside them, but more so how to use them. So this is a guide on how to use oils as a practitioner who has worked thousands of hours on clients. My understanding is not from textbooks, it's from physical one-to-one clientele, working and seeing how oils benefit, where they benefit, and what are the patterns to oils of certain healing methods to where you apply it. So this should be a great video, and it might be a little bit longer than normal, but let's do it anyway. First of all, one of the things I notice more than anything when working with these natural oils is that intaking the oil through the nose by breathing in and holding for between 3 and 10 seconds and then releasing through the mouth for round about 10 to 20 breaths is probably one of the most powerful things you can do. Activating the whole of the body system through the nose is incredible. It's one of the most powerful things you can do. The second most amazing thing that I noticed when I was working on my clients is that rubbing the oil here is an amazing way to feel the energy of the oil instantly through the body system. There is an amazing place you can use the oil as well, and that is the bottom of your feet. If your clients are lying down, or let's say you are just going to sleep, or you just want to lie down, you don't want to mucky your covers, you get some socks and then you get your oil and you rub it on the bottom of your feet by holding your foot there for a few moments, and just put your hand naturally like this and just keep your hand on the sole for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then change. Again, just hold your hand like this. There is a natural energy that goes through the hands, through the shoulders, down the other arm, to the wrist, and then the hand, and then it will activate the oil in way of energy healing. It's a natural thing. You don't need to try, you don't need to ask or want of anything. It will be just a natural method. You can actually hold both hands on your feet as well if you can do that comfortably, and that works as well. It's fantastic. So as a healer, what we would do is we would place the oil on the feet, and I would get comfortable, which means that if my client's lying on a bed, I would be stood up and I would turn my back to the client's feet and put my hands like this and hold the feet like this and just allow that energy to run through. With the oil and the energy together working as one, you activate the oil in a way that nobody can truly understand. Because a guide to using oil is important that you understand that activating an oil, just like you would activate water by holding it and saying something lovely, or putting a wish or good luck or a prayer into it and then drinking it, it's the same energy. Everything is energy. Anything can be activated as long as it's in a place of pure love, and as long as you are in both mind, body and spirit 100% or as close to it as possible. If you're feeling weak, you're feeling down, then there's no need to look at doing the energetic work, because if you're not feeling too good, it takes a lot from you, because if you don't know how to do that correctly, in the sense of if you are not using the energy around you as it should be used, sometimes we can be confusing ourselves by many different ways and thoughts and feelings when we're in a bad place. So that's why you should go for a healing session when you're not feeling good. And when you're feeling good, you should give healing sessions. We're all radiators and drains. And sometimes we forget when we're a drain that we should be lying down and relaxing and letting the healing take place naturally rather than just forcing anything through. That's something a lot of us struggle with, but there you go. So another place to use oil that I found fascinating is basically at the base of the spine. Rubbing oil at the base of the spine, and if you can hold your hand there, and again hold this hand like this, somewhere nice and relaxed. So I normally put it on my knee, next to my knees, and just hold it there and just hold my hand there for about 5 minutes. You'll find that you'll feel heat, you'll feel the tingling, and you'll activate the oil, and then the oil will seep in and start working its magic. So that's a fabulous place. A lot of, okay, let's forget that. Let's just continue. Another fabulous place to do healing on with oils is the back, higher up where the kidneys are. Rub all across the back where the kidneys are, and then take the two hands and place them there as if you are just getting naturally comfortable, and that this is a position many people hold their hands like this. They don't realize it, but they have a lot of negativity in the back, and the kidneys need healing. And this is why people do this. It's a natural healing method. So by just doing that and then massage gently for about 5 to 10 minutes if possible, you'll find that you'll heal the kidneys very well, and you'll cleanse and clear away the negativity there. That's why I always use either sacred oil or I'll use my cleansing oil or healing oil at the back here. That is an amazing way of healing the full body system. Really is incredible. So another place to use oil, which I found fascinating, that helped a lot of people who were struggling, who were stubborn, who didn't know where to go, what to do, who wouldn't move forward out of fear, is one of the most powerful PowerPoints that I've ever worked with. And the reason why is because when I used to work in, let's say, huge venues with thousands of people, I used to give a healing session for between 5 and 10 or 15 minutes. And it used to be in a seat. So people would come, sit down, and I would naturally get my healing oil, one of them, rub them in my hands, let them breathe it through the nose, and then go straight to the knees. Now, these are not talked about in any kind of books that I've read. But let me tell you, as a healer who's practiced, This is a point where many healers go to. Trust me, I've seen it here in the academy with lots of people who are naturally drawn to the knees and they don't know why. This is a place which will free up tension in the sense of the mind's struggle to move forward. So placing your hands on the knees, simply place your hands on your knees, which a lot of people do because they don't know which direction to go in. That anywhere from the top here down to your feet is to do with movement, to do with moving forward in life. It's to do with everything that you struggle with life. So the knees, put both hands on the knees and just be there if you can for at least 10 minutes. It's brilliant. 10 minutes with oil, okay? So always remember, you rub your oil on there. Some people like to go round at the, like here, round about here. So you can do here, but some people go to the other side. And that's another place you can do. But this is really the most powerful place I love to work, and you get some great information. Sorry about the car. This is normally happens when we're really tackling something amazing. There's always something trying to stop us. But yes, the knees are points that aren't spoke about. And one day when I write a book about power points, which people call chakras, you'll soon see that there are far more than 7 chakras, or some people say 8 and some people say 12. I would keep going to over 100 at least. So a great place to work. Another amazing place to work as well is if you go lower down, get the oil in your hands, and you're going to go to round about here, this point, okay, round about here. Get them off there, go about here. So hold round here. This is a great place to do healing. So when, you know, like if you just put your foot up there now, sometimes you'll put your hand on your roundabout, how can I show you? Roundabout here. But if you go a little bit further down, so like just where your shins are, and then a little bit lower down, and just put your hands there, okay? One hand there, right? Just for about 5 minutes. Again, this is a great way of healing the body system. The legs, it'll run straight up and you'll feel it in your stomach sometimes, just like you will at the bottom of your soul. This is a great place to do healing as well. One thing that I used to do when I used to do a little bit of self-massage with oils, I used to put the oils on my toes and I would go in between. I want to show you. Squeeze there, keep squeezing, and you'll release a lot of tension. And then at the same time, grab your toes and just hold your toes there for about 2 or 3 minutes and then let go. Again, it's another point which is fantastic for releasing of trapped energy within the feet. Sometimes we don't realize, but we have a lot of trapped energy in the feet, and that can hold us back tremendously. So moving up, again, if you are somebody who is wanting to feel better emotionally, somebody who may be in a place of, oh, I want, I need, okay, wants and needs sometimes cause a lot of problems to this section here, okay, so just at the sides here, all the way from down here and up, so all the way up here. So you get your oil and you rub it all the way up there, and then you place your hands like that for about 10 to 15 minutes. This is a great place to use your oil, honestly. Breathing technique is extremely important. You will never be told about this when talking about guiding you through using oils. And the reason why I share this is because the breathing is essential oils to cleansing the detox process of oils. So you've once in, it's got to come out. Everything's got to come out. So most people don't breathe correctly. So breathing correctly, in my opinion, is always a deep breath through the nose and exhaling everything out through the mouth. So if you imagine you're breathing in the natural Earth's universal energy that comes in through the nose, it goes down, it clears, and with the oil, it's clearing away all what's stuck inside, all the tension, all the emotion, all the stress, and all the physical. So now it's all over the place. It needs to come out. As you breathe out deeply and nice and steady, it comes out really, really naturally, automatically, if you learn how to breathe correctly. So breathing when using oils is so important. That's why I always stress that when you start using oils, if you can rub it on your hands, then breathe it through the nose at least 10 to 20 times and blow out through your mouth. It gives the body or the mind, okay, I know what I'm doing now. But sometimes you'll forget. So you'll remind yourself every time you use a certain oil on a certain different part of the body to breathe at that particular place. Okay, what does happen, I notice naturally with my clients or with students who come here, they will eventually go and they'll realize, oh, I forgot to breathe, and then they will breathe. But if you can learn how to put into practice to breathe correctly when using oils, it's fantastic. It really is. So let's move forward. Another amazing place is this, shoulders. You know, sometimes you'll do this, okay? You'll see kids doing it. This is a cry for help because they're carrying too much weight. So if you see anybody doing this, and you do sometimes see it, you see it on a football pitch, you see, you know, this is stress of carrying a lot of burden. So automatically you will get the oil and you will rub it on your shoulders, and you can massage it if you want, or simply hold your hands like this or cross your hands like that, whatever feels comfortable. About 15 minutes, because the shoulders carry a lot of weight from day to day and week to week, month to month, year to year. You need to spend a lot of time on your shoulders because we carry a lot of people's crosses. So therefore, hold your hands there, let the energy work, breathe thoroughly and nice. And for me, it's nice and long here. So it's hold for a few seconds, as long as you can, but not stressing or straining. And then the more you do it, the more you'll fill your lungs, the more you'll release the toxins. This is an amazing place to heal. You'll feel it afterwards. You'll feel much better, and you'll realize I don't need to go for a massage as much. So it works really well. It clears the tension and the stress and the burden, what you carry on everybody else's shoulders, you take it on yours. So brilliant, brilliant. Now, always be careful with the eyes. I never like to rub on the eyes. However, if you get your oils and rub them on here and up here and around here, it's great. Just a quick note, a side note, if you're using certain oils, make sure that when you rub the oil on your third eye or the power point here that awakens your third eye, you don't really want to be doing it if you want a good night's sleep, because sometimes you'll be so visually aware with your third eye that you'll be feeling all sorts of stuff. So for me, before I go to sleep, I never rub on a power point like that because I'm going to be awake. If I want to have deep sleep and I want to remember things, and I want, like, maybe if you believe in this, maybe I'm going too far. It was okay up to this point, but some people like to astral travel. Some people like to know what they're doing when they go to sleep. I understand that our spirit leaves our body and we do many amazing things. How do we know that? Well, I used to use a method of putting oil on the top of my head, which opens up and allows me to feel and connect to, let's say, other worlds or dimensions or energies that we don't normally do. So I still got a good night's sleep when I rubbed here, but if I rubbed here, I found that I was a little bit all over the place, and I'm wanting to do the psychic work, and then my thoughts and feelings and my creativity comes out. So I would only kind of rub that when I'm doing deep meditation that I want to connect with. Certain words I'm not going to use because you're going to go, but let's just say the magic of what we don't often see during the day. Who sees any magic these days? It's all sadness and depression, really. Okay, so sides of temples, a vital place. These are power points. These are power points, without a doubt. If you rub on there, what you find is that they will release a lot of tension from a monkey mind, or from unresolved files, or from trauma and stuff that over the past. So it's a release. It really does help. But be aware that if you're doing this on a night when you're going to sleep, then you might find you're going to have some vivid dreams and some kind of weird things and strange things. So for me, I like to rub the oil more or less in the morning to the afternoon. I normally stop rubbing the oils around about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon and let them take effect through the day and on a night. Then they start to just the residue just gets less and less still there. So it's it's beneficial to know that if you put oil in the morning, it will still work through the day and night, but it's not as powerful and it's not got that kick that it awakens or cleanses and clears right at that moment or that first hour. I think for the first hour when you use oils, they work their best, and then they kind of break down through the day and night. That's what I noticed on my client anyway, on clients. So I love the fact that the back of the neck is an amazing place. There's something about the back of the neck, and I used to rub the oil at the back. I used to go, I don't know if you can feel them bones here, and rub here all across here. That's a great place as well, clearing the tension and releasing the unresolved files. It's fantastic. But the back of the neck serves a lot of purpose down the spine. It also heals the whole of the body system as you go down and less. So by putting oils on the feet and by going to the top up here, you're covering the whole body system one way or another. So yeah, okay, let's move on, shall we? Where do you want to go from there? There's so many places to go. The stomach is always one of the most profound places to heal because we carry so much baggage in the stomach. It's the shock energy, it's the problems, the issues, the pain, the suffering, all sits in the stomach, which is your second brain, the emotional brain. So that is a vital part of cleansing and clearing. So I always use Palo Santo, I'll always use sage, I'll always use frankincense. I'll always rub that around the stomach. Also, by rubbing around the stomach, you find that it will also help the back too, because oil will always go through. But stomach, I would rub sides to about from here to here, all across here, and go up to the solar plexus and like here, all here. So once you've done that, you've got a choice of holding both hands on your stomach, rotating, moving your hands up and down, and then again get your hand like that, putting it down so it's comfortable, and then just allow the healing work to take place as you're breathing. With the oils, you'll find that there's a lot of healing taking place. You'll probably hear a lot of gurgling, bubbling in your stomach. Oh, it sounds like I'm hungry. You're not. All what's happening is energy of the sage, the Palo Santo, and the frankincense will be working its magic, and it will be healing that, and it will be chipping away, knocking off all the emotions that sits in there, and it'll drag it out. And again, breathing technique is so important because you're breathing it all out. Okay, so it's brilliant. Golden Heart is an oil that I use, which I really love, and it's mixed with all of my oils, but predominantly in that at the moment is Yasmin, and it's a beautiful, beautiful energy oil. The heart oil is always fascinating to me. The heart is fascinating. So when I rub on the heart, I normally have one hand here all the time. You'll see this when we sleep. If your hand's on your heart like this when you're asleep, it means that you need healing from the heart. If your hands are naturally goes to your stomach, it means that you need healing on your stomach. Always follow the nature of your hands. Why do you think you do this? You're not just doing that because you're doing that. You're doing it because you're wiping energy away. There's too much, it's too heavy. Something's not right there and you're trying to clear it away. Why do you think you do this? You don't do that because you're messing with your hair. You're doing that because you've got too much energy at the top of your head and here. So you're trying to clear that away. This is a natural way to clear it away. This is a natural way where I go to sleep like this, put my hands there. Follow that, watch it. That gives you a great indication where to use your oils. And by doing that, you'll find that you'll heal much better, and you'll look at your hand and you'll go, oh, it's not there anymore. Right, because your hands tell you naturally where you should go. So always keep an eye out where your hands go. Always keep an eye of what your legs do, your feet do. Always check your body. It always speaks to you, but most of us don't even listen. We don't even look. I'm not looking at it. It's too big, too fat, too round. So that's something else. I hope this video is serving you well thus far. I'm trying to get as much in as I can because most people like 30-second videos, but I try to help you with as much as I can and share as much of my knowledge as a healer. Now, if there's any questions you've got, please put them underneath and I'll continue doing videos. My healing oils are over 60 years old. This is where it gets really crazy. This is where all the essential guides, the essential workers with essential oils and healing oils, they get very angry with me. They get really upset. I don't get angry and upset with you. Everybody has their method. My method is this. I know my oils are perfect because I work with them daily. I put my hands over my oils for at least 10 to 20 minutes most days if I'm in this country. I work on my oils all the time. I'm always replenishing the oils, always, and with the energy in replenishing them, I sell thousands of bottles to healers, shamans, psychics, yoga centers, mums, dads, doctors, priests. That they sell all over the world. You name it, they sell. And they repeat sell. They constantly sell, which means repeat sales are about 78% at the moment. That means that 78% of my clients out of 100 keep buying them, and the other 20 some percent or whatever it is are new clients. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how they work. Every one of my oils are intuitive oils. I don't specifically have a set oil all the time. So what I do is I hunt for certain oils depending on what the alignment of the stars, what Mother Earth is telling me, what I'm attuned to at that given moment, and what I feel I'm being drawn to. Once I've got that oils, I'll hold it in my hand. If it passed the first test, this feels right, I open it up, I smell it. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't smell right, it goes away and I'm not interested. If it feels right and smells right, then it goes into a certain bottle of 9 of my bottles underneath here. I put that oil in there, and that's how I work with oils. It is a very unique way, and people get very angry who are in this business because they're trying to sell their technique and this is the way it should be, ABC. Not my technique, not my way to sell anything. I work with oils in a way that for me feels right, and I will not tarnish them. I will not poison them with anything that somebody else tells me I shouldn't do. I feel what feels right. If it feels right to me, then I'm happy. If I'm happy, I can generate a great energy into them oils. They're not just oils, guys. They're not just oils. They are pure energy healing oils. They are filled with a healer's energy that pulls down an energy from the universe that goes into the oils for certain reasons. And that is why these are, in my humble opinion, there's nothing to touch them. I have never, ever, from the moment I started working with the oils till now, I have never, ever experienced an oil that can touch this oil apart from one, which is called Don Tolman's oil, and it's called Golden Relief. And that is for a relief in many different ways. These oils, yes, they're relief, but they're also spiritual, they're mental, they're physical, they work on all aspects, because nobody else really does this. Nobody else will sit and spend 15-20 minutes on one bottle. They won't do it. Well, I have to. That's my job, that's my work. And that's why these oils, as you can see, all here, these are my oils, and all down here as well, they're what I work with, they're my love, they're my passion, they're everything. And I always go to them over the years when I've needed them for clients and for terrible emergencies sometimes. They came in I don't know where my bag is, but I used to put them in the bag with all my tools. They were my tools that I worked with, and they've served me well. And people buy them because it serves them well. So if you've got your own oils and you want to now know how to use them, if you've watched this gives you some idea. But I'll leave you on one thing. The most important teacher of or guide to using oils is yourself. There's nobody else has the power to understand your body more than yourself. And if you step out of that mindset and start to work on intuition and feel your body, you will go naturally to the place with that oil. So you'll rub it in your hands, breathe it through your nose without any thought, and then follow your guidance to where you need to rub that oil. You don't need to look at manuals. You don't need to read the back of the label. Follow your guidance and it will always serve you well. So on a final note, and this is what I do as a ritual, and I hope this serves you well as well. If you're doing meditation, if you want to do any kind of work which is a little bit different in the sense of psychic, I don't know if you're into mantras, I don't know if you're into clairvoyant, clairaudient, any of that kind of magic work. If you do, this is something that I do and it's always served me well. I'll take the golden heart today and I'll use that and I'll just show you and you can listen to my words. 3 drops. Rub into the hands, tips. Breathe in through the nose. Hold. Blow out through the mouth. Repeat. Hold. Blow out through the mouth. One more time. 3. Hold for 3 seconds. Blow out through the mouth for 3 seconds. 3, 3, freeze. Good. Help me see the truth. Help me hear the truth. Help me speak the truth. Help me feel the truth. Let's begin.